Hey guys, Michael J. Solar here with Blue Line Canine, and this May we are going to be doing a costume contest. That's right, a costume contest where you can get to dress your dog up as any Star Wars character, post them on your favorite social media with hashtag May the Force Be With You, and tag us at BLK9MD, and you'll be entering to win either free training or discounts across all of our programs. May the Force be with you.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Stuck in a Truck. So as you guys are watching live, we're not in my truck today. We are actually in the Boag Pet Resort, my office here at the Boag Pet Resort with Bad Janet, typically seen on Dog Talk. So if you guys watched Dog Talk last night, it was a very short episode. And the reason for that is we were loading up the new RV. We were heading the road to build relationships between people and their dogs, educate trainers, and help out our Raleigh location with Jeff. But today's episode is Stuck in a Truck. I really want to talk about what I like to call passing the buck and how that needs to stop. So in business, in training, in life, we tend to constantly look for excuses and why we didn't do or why it's not happening and all of these other things. And this is an episode that I think it's true to everybody, no matter what your position. If you're a business owner, a young entrepreneur starting out, if you're a manager, if you're just an employee, or in general, you're just generally doing things, working with dogs, whatever it may be. But this is what I want to talk about. So in my office, I have a rule here with the entire company, Blue Line Canine, which is the buck stops here. Now, I picked this up from a former president. His name was Harry Truman. He was the only president that didn't actually have his name on the desk in the White House. He put a placard that said the buck stops here. And ever since I learned about that, I agree with him 100% that the buck stops here. And what I mean and what he meant by that is simply this. Everything that goes wrong is your fault, and everything that goes right is your team's fault. Let me say that again. Everything that goes wrong is your fault, and everything that goes right is your team's fault. That's correct. You are not mishearing this. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it and saying it again. It is very easy for any of us to blame somebody else, or do what I like to call the Cecil County ricochet, where, instead of taking responsibility for what you did wrong, you point out what somebody else is doing that might not be right. At the end of the day, when you own it, when you accept it, you can move on from it. When you take responsibility in where you're dropping the ball, we can fix it. When you take that, then it all starts anew. But when we don't, and we're too busy coming up with excuses of why we can't, why we didn't, why it's not, and all of these things, then essentially all you're doing is prolonging the inevitable and delaying your success. Every which way you want to shake it, when it comes into training your dog, when it comes into cleaning your car, when it comes into building your business, when it comes into marketing, at the end of the day, if you are not out there doing your continuous effort and pushing yourself forward and taking the time to reinforce the training, knowledge, and experience that we give you, or you've learned, or you've implemented, you will fall victim to habits and unsuccesses. At the end of the day, when you come and you work with somebody and you're learning from their expertise and you decide to either A, alter it, not follow through, and not practice, you cannot be mad at them for your failures. They're giving you the tools. It is your decision if you are going to do it or not do it. It is your decision if you're going to practice or not. It's your decision if you're going to take the step. It's your decision. Every time I look at myself and I'm like, man, I'm a little chunky, it was my decision to eat the pizza. I could have had a salad. I could have exercised. I could have done a ton of things. I went years of being extremely overweight. And now I decided to lose weight. And with the help of people that are knowledgeable, like my wife, she's been able to dedicate her time to help me with my meals planning, prepping, and everything of that. It was now happening. But if I start to gain weight again because I decided to eat the full strombolis and the pepperoni pizzas and everything like that, it's not her doing. She's doing her part. She's putting her time into it. She's giving me the meal prep. She's giving me the ideas. So even like this, and I'll give you another prime example is this. Last night I did an episode of Dog Talk, and I think it was like 10 minutes long, which is a very short episode for Dog Talk. And I didn't even have anything prepped. I'm extremely preoccupied with loading up the camper and getting ready to hit the road today. And this is a lot on my plate. So long story short is this. I know that being consistent with putting those episodes out is something that I needed to be. If I would have skipped last night, I would have given myself the opportunity to essentially demolish my own show. And that means instead of seeing the momentum continue, the growth continue, people wanting to be on the show, people wanting to be a part of it, I would have sabotaged that by skipping out. Instead, I got my laptop out and I immediately logged on at 7 p.m. and I got the show going. I know it wasn't a long episode, but I still did it. And at the end of the day, I showed the people around me, I showed my people that watched the show, I showed every single person that showing consistency will get you through it. You must be consistent. In the story of the tortoise and the hare was so busy bouncing around and coming up with excuses of how fast he is that the tortoise that was slow, consistent in a straight line beat the hare in the race because the hare got too tired from all the showboating. So now when you think about that for a second, and you have to realize that when you're going to be successful in anything you do, in training your dog, running a business, running a team, building your company, being a manager, being a father, being a wife, being a mother, being a husband, being a boyfriend, being a girlfriend, being anything, or just simply being yourself, riding a bike, playing sports, whatever it is that you decide that you're going to wake up and be good at. It's you, not your coach, not your team, not your companies that you buy from, not the products that you purchase. It doesn't matter if you buy the Michael Jordans, LeBron James. Is if you don't go out and play basketball and practice shooting from the bottom of underneath the rim, practicing layups, practicing these things, and all you do is spend your time showboating because you wear the nice shoes, you will not be good. If you listen to every successful person's story, they will tell you flat out how it sucked, how they hit the grind, and how they repeated. They've rinsed, repeated, rinsed, repeated, rinsed, and repeated. I cannot employ you enough. If you want to be good at something, if you want your dog to be good with you, if you want the relationship with your animals, if you want the relationships with others, you have to be consistent in your actions. You must be consistent in your training. You must be consistent with your products. You must be consistent across the board. The consistency that you display will show people that you're dependable, will show your animal that you're trustworthy, will show the relationships to be built. And then everybody around you will follow. Everybody around you will start to get the idea of what you're trying to do, and they will see where you're going. If you want to know what got me to where I am today, it's the consistency of it. I'll give you another weird story. It's a great movie called Shawshank Redemption. Phenomenal movie. The guy got a tiny little pickaxe that was able to fit into the Bible. And I know it seems extraordinary, but the man, if you watch the story, went there every night underneath a poster and scraped a little bit of stone every day. And before you know it, he escapes from the prison. Yeah, I just ruined this plot line, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter how big your pickaxe is. It doesn't matter how big the hammer is. It doesn't matter how big it is that you're going out there for it. It's the consistent action and consistency of the behavior that's going to get you the results that you're looking for. And it's also going to make sure that nobody sees it. Because here's the funny part, is when you are doing good and something is working in your favor, here's the irony. Ready? Everybody will tell you that you're lucky. When the truth be told is your consistent behaviors over a long period of time is what got you the results that you're looking for. It got you to the successes. It got your relationships with your animals and your friends and family. It got where you want to be. So that's the biggest thing I could tell you tonight, or today, I should say, is getting this. Even today, like I said, I'm a little sidetracked. My show was late getting on the air, but I made sure I did the show. I made sure we got stuck in the truck, even though I don't have my truck to be in today. No matter what, I've gone there and I showed you that consistency in it. And I think that's the biggest thing that you could take away from me today. Get out there, show your consistency, work your tuckus off in consistent behaviors, and take the responsibility when things go wrong. Because if things are not working out the way you want them to, and you post the blame, at the end of the day, it'll still never get fixed because the blame is still on you. If you want certain behaviors around you, you want certain people around you, it's you that decides that. It's your consistent behavior. It's your consistent action. It's you following through with the information and the training provided. I wanted to be a business person. I wanted to become a dog trainer. I wanted to teach seminars. So the way this happens is simply is this. I became good at what I did. I started learning. And what is inevitable is the next step. Same thing for you. If you're going to go out there and you want to do these things, if you want to lead your way to success, if you want to know how I got here, it was repeating. And it was also, my favorite part is taking the buck. Because at the end of the day is that no matter what went wrong, I owned it and I fixed it. Because if you don't post the blame, if you just accept it, you can go back, change it, and create a new consistent pattern to get the results you're looking for. Stop blaming others when the truth be told is you have the power to fix it. But the first thing you have to do is own it. So again, anything you want to do in this world, any level of success you want, any part of it that you want to be at, it's you. You have that ability. It's 2021. It is time for you to start taking the buck, take that responsibility, and then implement the proper, consistent changes to get where you want to go. Small baby steps going in the right direction. On the end note, Travis, Feliz cumpleaños. I love you. I am so happy today is your birthday. It has been an amazing 12 years watching you grow and consistently seeing you grow. Daddy loves you, and I can't wait to come home and spend the rest of our lives together as I see you grow up into a young man, into a successful young man, I should say. Happy birthday, buddy. I'll see you soon.